Hello stamping friends, welcome back to video number 3. We're going to be making this card in this video, and this is the instruction sheet that you all get when you're part of the class. It has all the measurements, it has all the supplies that we use, but as a member of the class, you receive a card kit in the mail, and it comes with an envelope, comes with the card base for this particular card, and there's 2 pieces of cardstock cut like this, and then there's going to be a scrap of paper. It could be a different size, but this is a little bit more generous than what you're going to need. But this scrap of piece of paper is going to be for card number 3 and card number 4. You should have plenty of paper to use for those 2 cards, so that will help you. And we're also using, just to remind you, we're using the Adventure Bounds papers that come in the kit. You will get these in the packet as well. And just because I'm using one piece of cardstock doesn't mean that you have to. You can use any of them in there that you want because you're going to have plenty left over. I was going to point out to you that for this card, we're using a piece that's cut like this. I'm going to flip it over so you can see on the video. But notice how much is going to be left over. So not only are you going to have 8 full sheets, but you're going to have pieces left over so you can make multiple cards, okay? So that's the beauty of this class. You're going to be getting a lot of fun extra things in there. I've already cut the piece the way I need it, and your measurements are in your instructions that you will be getting. I wanted to share with you just a little tip. I am using the photopolymer stamp set for this class, and when you're using the photopolymer, I could just put the car on there and stamp it and then stamp the words, but when you're using the photopolymer, the beauty of it is you can make your own stamp design by sticking them on the same block. Okay, a little bit crooked. There we go. All right, something else that I noticed about the photopolymer, especially on the longer stamps, is that sometimes when I'm putting them on, I'm a little off. So when you stamp them, they kind of have a little wave to them. Let me show you a trick that might help you with that. So I'm going to put this stamp, and this one says "To a Classic." I'm going to put it face down on my grid paper. So if you don't have the grid paper from Stampin' Up, you need to grab some. It will last you forever. It's a huge sheet, or it's a huge sheet, but it's a huge stack as well, okay? So I'm going to put that down right there, and without me touching it, the stamp is laying perfectly straight, okay? And then all I have to do is take my block and pick it up. And then that way that gets rid of that little wave that you might have. Now, another card that we're going to be doing, I want the wave. But when you don't want the wave, that's just a little trick to help you. All right, let's stamp our car, and I am using a brown ink. The colors that I'm using are in your instructions, but it's an early espresso. Okay, you can use any brown ink that you have on hand. So, stamp that. Okay, gonna take a sponge, love sponging, and just kind of go around the edges, make it look dirty, rugged, masculine. Okay, so we have that done. And then on our scrap of paper that I told you you're gonna have for 2 cards, I'm gonna take and go ahead and ink up "To a Classic," and I'm just gonna come down here kind of low on the paper. And then I'm going to take my snips. You can take this to a paper trimmer if you want, but we're going to actually be cutting these words apart. So it's just easier. Trust yourself with the snips. You can do it. Okay, so then I'm just going to cut them apart. I'll take my sponge again, make it look like the other, matchy matchy. We're all about that. It's a little bit tiny. Speaking of sponges, Stampin' Up sells these. They're round, and I cut them up, and then I just keep them for that color family. So this is the browns and maybe even a black if I need to. So once this amount of inking dries, I can always, you know, kind of wipe off some more on my scratch paper, and then I can change ink pads and use it on a different pad, so it doesn't hurt anything. All right, let's do the assembly. Oops. Okay, so for our card base, we're going to take the strip that I cut, and it's going to go along the side. I thought this particular print really screamed like some of my husband's barbecue pictures that he's taken and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and use dimensionals because I like dimensionals. I tried to tell you when we first start these series that, you know, some of the adhesives that I like to use on the videos so that you can stock up. So I hope you have some. Go ahead and take this off. Place that right there. And then I'm going to take my 3 little pieces, and because I am using tiny pieces of paper, I really don't want to get adhesive on my work surface so that I can finish up my videos. And so I'm using the Silicone Mat from Stampin' Up. The Silicone Mat allows you to put adhesive on things and then and then it won't stick to that. How fun is that? Okay. If I had done this just straight on my work surface, then it would stick to, speaking of sticking. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and start placing this on since it's stuck to my fingers. Good old snail, it sticks really well. I'm going to place this right here, and then kind of bring it in a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and do this one. How fast, how fun is this card? Okay? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Oh, wait, I have something else I want to share with you. Another little tip. Clear blocks. How do you store yours? What do you do with them? Okay? They come in different sizes. Stampin' Up! Has a case, a caddy. I decorated mine. Isn't that what crafty people do? They have a caddy that you can use to store. And I love this for traveling. Like if I'm going to be going to a retreat or something, it works really well for that. However, when I'm just in my craft room, I like to have all my blocks where I can just grab them. And this is the way I use them. I just have them all like this, and then I have the little cloth. If you use the cloth and clean your blocks, then the stamps stick better. This is just the boxes that Stampin' Up! Sells. Looks like that on the front. Nice, heavy, sturdy box that I can just move around my craft room however I need to. So, all right, another little tip for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back for the next video.